So now that you know what we're talking about medium heavy power fast action rods. So what lures would I throw on a medium heavy fast action rod? Well, you're gonna find out. First off, I'm gonna throw my spinner baits and my chatter baits. Two of my main moving baits that are not a crankbait is gonna be on this because you have a single hook, which you want the medium heavy, which has more power behind that single hook. Next are going to be my buzz baits, normally anything from 1/4 ounce up, or if it's a double bladed buzz bait, I am going to be throwing on that just because I want the heavier rod for the heavier bait. Next is swim jigs. Again, it's got that single hook. You want power behind your swim jig to get that hook set, and then you want the power to fight this because normally if you're fishing a swim jig, you're going to be around heavier cover. Next is plastic swim baits, and by plastic swim baits I mean any Yamamoto swim bait, Berkeley swim bait, anything like paddle tail or whatever, and you're going to put on a swim bait hook or even just on a jig head and fish it that way. I want it on that because the heavier medium heavy fast action rod, because of, again, it has that more power behind that single hook, and normally these I'm going to be fishing around grass edges, and I want the heavier rod in case that fish gets into the cover. Next is going to be my Texas rigs and jigs. These are going to be slightly heavier baits, so I don't want to throw them on the medium fast action rod. And I'm going to be fishing a lot of times around wood, rock, or vegetation, so I want that longer rod, or not longer rod, heavier rod. Next is the Carolina rig. The main reason I want a medium heavy is because of the long cast in what you're going to make with a Carolina rig. So with that longer cast, you have that longer line out, so I want that heavier rod to be able to load up and hook the fish. And lastly is frogs and toads. I would fish on a medium heavy fast action rod, unless I'm in super heavy cover though. If I'm in a lot heavier cover, I will fish it on a heavy rod, and I'll talk about that in the next video. But mainly if I'm going to be fishing around lighter color or lighter weeds, I like just the medium heavy rod. That way, because I only have one heavy rod, I can keep my one bait I want in the heavy rod, and I can really don't switch around. So a lot of it depends. It can go either medium heavy is it's said to be most one, but most of these baits, about half of them I'd fish on a medium fast action, and then the rest I'd like on a medium heavy fast action. It just depends on how heavy the bait you're throwing and what type of cover you're going to be fishing is where I draw that line between a medium fast action and a medium heavy fast action. So either way, I hope this helped you. Hope if it didn't really help you, okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, I'd sure appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you are fishing one of these baits soon. If not, see you on the next video.